This is Seagulls Lacrosse from SFMSports.net. Now, it's the All Access Halftime Show.
All Access Halftime Show here on SFMSports.net coverage of Seagulls Lacrosse. I'm Christian Payne, and this afternoon I am honored to welcome the original Seagull number 6 to the broadcast booth. 3-time first-team All-American, 2-time national champion, 2-time team captain, 1997 grad, and one of Coach Berkman's first Warriors, Jake Bergey, everybody. Back in Salisbury supporting the Maroon and Gold. So, Jake, thanks so much for catching up with us.
Yeah, thanks, Christian. Thanks for having me.
Well, as always, Jake, let's start off and take a page out of your playing day book, and let's take a trip back to the 90s a little bit. So give Seagull Nation out there a little bit of a flavor of what Salisbury lacrosse was like back then, and maybe if there's one moment, one goal that sticks out for you.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's always great to come back to Salisbury. It brings back a lot of memories that I've had down here, through the years, and really enjoy it. But I think probably what stuck out the most game-wise was my freshman year. We won the national championship at Bird Stadium. There was one goal in particular. I kind of backed right over a defenseman, and he fell down and got the goal. And really kind of kick-started this Salisbury run, I guess.
Well, good stuff. I remember as a youngster watching you just tear it up out there in the midfield. So really great stuff. And, talking about back in the day, really this program just paved the way for the winning tradition. But what are some of those, details that people would enjoy? What was on your Seagull locker room playlist back in the day? Any good tunes that you guys were rocking in the Maroon and Gold?
We didn't really have a playlist like we have, the iPods and all that stuff. We had to, make our own tapes and that sort of thing. But we had the Star Wars chant when we came out onto the field. We got here a little late. I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but
still in full force.
Yeah. And then I remember there was always the crazy train before the game as well. So again, bringing back some good memories.
Well, it's always really a pleasure to revisit those moments and see those traditions still alive. So that Imperial March still a signature of Salisbury lacrosse. So, Jake, after graduating in 1997, you went straight to the professional ranks and drafted by the Philadelphia Wings in 98. Started a very illustrious pro career. So, Jake, what was that experience like to be one of the first Seagulls, maybe if not the first, to set the standard of success for Salisbury players in the pro ranks?
Yeah, no, it was great. It was something that I always had dreamed about doing. Growing up, I had season tickets to the Wings, and I enjoyed going to the games, and then just becoming part of that tradition as well. And now seeing a lot of the guys that came after me, Kyle Hartzell and Eric Martin, and I mean the list goes on and on. Watching these guys succeed as well is really a good feeling.
Definitely a lot of Seagulls, especially over the past 5, 6, 7 years, and one of them being Justin Smith.
Sure.
Of course, you mentioned Martin, Kyle Berkman as well, Berkman's son, another number 6 too.
Yeah.
So doing very well. It was great to look to those guys. And Jake, there's no doubt that your family, also give a shout out to your son Brett here, joining us in the booth, is a tried and true lacrosse family. So your dad played football, actually, for the Philadelphia Eagles, middle linebacker. And you turned heads, of course, in the NLL and the MLL. And then your little brother, Josh, quite the attackman as well during the early 2000s, set that spark for the titles back in 2003. Yep. So talk about the sport of lacrosse and how it shaped your family.
I mean, lacrosse is, for me in particular, really my whole life is kind of revolved around lacrosse in some way. It helped me get my my real permanent job, I guess, doing medical sales through our lacrosse team doctor, and I met my wife indirectly through lacrosse. And I mean, again, the sport has given so much to me, and I hope I've given just that much back to it.
Well, it really pays forward. Now I just see talking about giving back, but right now we are watching a high-paced back-and-forth action between the young guns from Delmarva out there at the Coastal Lacrosse Club, going at it. So exciting stuff. And, yeah, just talk about what it's like for you to come back to Salisbury. You know, you're now in the Philadelphia area, but lacrosse on the East Coast especially, you're in the professional ranks now, outside, you're coaching your son here.
Yep.
So what is it like to see the game grow?
It's awesome. You know, I'm watching these kids, you know, I'm not sure what age they are, but one of the guys just threw a behind-the-back pass right in front of the goal. It's pretty impressive. No, but just seeing how this sport grows and, you know, like you said, watching my son play and coaching him really is neat to see how this sport is really taking off.
And finally, Jake, before we let you go, what is your take on this year's team in 2013? Any tips for the Maroon and Gold Middies out there so far?
I tell you what, they're looking pretty good. I've caught a couple games online watching them, but you know, it really looks to me that these guys are kind of run by their defense. Their goalie's been playing great, and certainly their face-off guy has been owning the circle here today. So, you know, I think they keep doing it, keep working hard. They're going to be there at the end.
Well, thanks so much, Jake, for joining us, and really enjoy this weekend with your family. Just soak in the maroon and gold and the sunshine, and I'll be looking forward to hopefully see you back very soon here in Salisbury.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.